All right, first and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing this truth and sincerity by rawchaa, qadash. As you see, the title says Millennials are leaving religion and not coming back. Okay, now we know that religion is basically man-made, you know. It's not inspired of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, the true God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, we know the Most High dwell not in temples made with hands, but nonetheless, you have young adults that are leaving that and not going back. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this article. Lord willing, it'd be edifying. Let me grab some precepts as well and see if I can paint this picture. It says millennials have earned a reputation for reshaping industries and institutions, shaking up the workplace, transforming dating culture, and rethinking parenthood. They've also had a dramatic impact on American religious life. 4 in 10 millennials now say they are religiously unaffiliated, according to the Pew Research Center. In fact, millennials, those between the ages of 23 and 38, are now almost as likely to say they have no religion as they identify as Christian. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. So people between the age of 23 and 38 are likely to say they have no religion, but they identify as Christians. Okay, for a long time, though it wasn't clear whether this youthful defection from religion would be temporary or permanent, it seemed possible that as millennials grew older, at least some would return to a more traditional religious life. But there's mounting evidence that today's younger generations may be leaving religion for good. Okay. It says social science research has long suggested that Americans' relationship with religion has a tidal quality. People who were raised religious find themselves drifting away as young adults, only to be drawn back in when they find spouses and begin to raise their own families. Okay? So some people that were raised religious, they leave, but then they come back when they get married and they have families. Some argue that young adults have yet been pulled back into the fold of organized religion, or hadn't yet been pulled back into the fold of organized religion, especially since they were hitting major milestones like marriage and parenthood later on. Okay, so you got on one hand, you got some that were religious that are leaving and they're coming back as they find spouses and they begin to raise their own families. Okay, and some say, they haven't gone back to organized religion, especially, as they get older when they hit marriage and parenthood. You see, both, but now many millennials have spouses, children, and mortgages, and there is little evidence of a corresponding surge in religious interest. Okay, so it's we're living in the ungodly generation. A new national survey from the American Enterprise Institute of more than 2,500 Americans found new reasons why millennials may not return in the religious fold. For one thing, many millennials never had strong ties to religion to begin with, which means they were less likely to develop habits or associations that make it easier to return to a religious community. Okay? Young adults are also increasingly likely to have a spouse who is non-religious, which may help reinforce their secular worldview. Okay? So some adults, their spouse has not, they're non-religious. They don't believe anything, no organized religion. They don't even, they don't care or whatever of the Most High. Okay, which helps, them have a secular worldview. Let's get this word secular. Secular. Denoting attitudes, activities, or the things that have no religious or spiritual basis. Okay. So these are the reasons why they're saying that some young adults are basically not going back to the churches because the people that their spouses, they have no spiritual beliefs. Okay. Changing views about the relationship between morality and religion also appear to have convinced many young parents that religious institutions are simply irrelevant or necessary for their children. Right. We're living in a world where, morals, are being done away with. Evil is being called good and good is being called evil. So people are getting desensitized by all the wickedness around them, so they're not wanting to be religious. They have a secular worldview, which means they have no religious or spiritual basis. Now let's look up this word religious. Relating to or believing in a religion. Okay, and now we know religion goes back to religiare, which means to bind. Okay, and people are being bound by ignorance in these religions, because we know the Most High is not dealing with the one organized religion. Okay, relating to or believing in a religion. It says of a belief or practice following part of someone's thought about or worship of a divine being. Okay, belonging or relating to a monastic order or other group of people who are united by the practice of religion. Okay, so that's what religious is, man. Relating to or believing to a religion. So people they're not believing in a religion, man. Okay, they're not spiritual. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in damn near anything. Okay. Now, it says, I want to read this. A parent's religious identity or lack thereof can do a lot to shape a child's religious habits and beliefs later in life. You see, a 2016 Pew Research Center study found that regardless of the religion, those raised in households in which both parents shared the same religion still identified with the faith in adulthood. For instance, 84% of people raised by Protestant parents are still Protestant as adults. Similarly, people raised without religion are less apt to look for it as they grow older. The same Pew study found that 63% of people who grew up in two religiously unaffiliated parents were still non-religious as adults. Wow. Okay, so this is the article if you want to look it up. Basically, young adults are becoming ungodly. Okay, I'm not advocating for religion, but they're becoming ungodly, and the people that they marry or they find themselves being a spouse with or having a family with, settling down with, are also ungodly. Okay, now we know the church. We know the Lord is not in the churches, okay, or did he organize one religion? But I just wanted to bring this out just to show you how people are leaving the truth. The Salakia, I should say, how people are leaving religion. Salakia for that. Yahawashi, forgive me. This is Joel 2:28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. That's what's going on, and that's why people are leaving the church. Because we at one time were in churches and in organized religion, okay, and we believed in Jesus Christ. But after the grace of the Lord has shined upon His people, He has visited His people. We've come to realize that there is no such thing as the Most High dwelling in a building. We are the building, okay. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon their handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. And the Lord is pouring out His spirit, man. Okay? Here it is, we're waking up in 2019, going on 2020, we're waking up to the true understanding of the Bible. The Lord, has set up prophets in these last days to break down this Bible and to give the people, okay, the truth about what it says, that we are Israelites. Okay? This is Proverbs 2. Wait a minute. I wanted to get this scripture. You see, because the Lord, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, whom the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, told us, gave us law, judgments, statutes, and commandments that we should teach our children, man. This is, Proverbs 22:6. I thought it was, let's get this. This is Proverbs 22. And 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And that's what we were told to do. Train up a child in the way he should go. Okay, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. But since people do no longer read the Bible, they no longer care. Okay, because society has been turned into a cesspool. All right, morals have been totally erased and decayed. There's no reason for you to go and learn about anything moral, because you just make it up as you go. You're in a do as thou will society where your kids are basically being trained up and brainwashed at school. They're growing up on what do you call it, pop music. People don't have enough time to come home and to be spiritual and worship the Most High. So what their children are growing up the same, and it's going on and on and on. Okay, and there's no remedy for that. Okay, let's see. This is let me get this. This is Sirach. I was trying to do this on my computer, but it was acting up. This is Sirach 30. Okay, I wanted to get this because it's important that our nation, okay, coming into this understanding, okay, and especially the times that we're in, that we train up the young men, our young sons, starting with the sons, man, about the truth. This is Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, okay, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Right. So if you teach your son, okay, you train him up as a child, he shall go, and when he is old, he will not depart. Okay, and when you teach your son laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments, you grieve with the enemy. You see, and who's our enemy? Esau, Edom. All right, these devils, and this is our culture. This is our heritage. But yet our people have lost this, man. Being just, upright, is a lost art in the world these days. Okay. This is let me bring this up. Our people have no history of who they are. They're just going around calling themselves blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, not knowing that, the Bible pertains to them. Okay, it's talking about, your people. Here it is, our children go to school and they learn about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln. But, that's not their people. This is Deuteronomy 6:20. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Yahawah our power hath commanded you, then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and Yahawah brought us up out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Right. So when it comes time, when your son grows up, especially in this time, your kids grow up and they, you know, they want to celebrate Halloween and Christmas and Easter, but what do? You tell them what that time comes. You're like, hey, you know what, son? Hey, this is not righteous. This is not our custom. This is not what Israelites do. We are Israelites, and in the Bible it says that we're not supposed to do these things, and we teach our children, man. I know a lot of brothers out there who've taught their sons, okay, what the laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments are. It says, then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and we're bondmen here in spiritual Egypt, which is America. Sodom in Egypt, I should add, and Yahawah brought us up out of Egypt with the mighty hand. Okay, and you got a lot of people that don't even know the story of the Israelites' deliverance out of Egypt. Okay, and Yahawah shewed or about Sodom and Gomorrah, and Yahawah shewed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his eyes, upon all his household before our eyes. You see, and the Lord is going to do these wonders again. Okay, with there's going to be a great destruction. Men. I know men of the Lord. Hopeful men. They're telling their family. They're getting their. What does the scripture say? Get thy household in order. Okay, because more evil things. You know what? Let me get that real quick. Second Esdras, I believe. 14. Second Ezra 14 and 13. It says, now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Okay? Let go of the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Okay, and we're coming up on hard times, like our forefathers were in Egypt and had hard times. Okay, but the Lord delivered them. Okay, the Lord's going to deliver us too. This is our heritage. This is what we should teach our generations. You know, this is what we should have been teaching our generations, but we're doing it now. Okay, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter, and those greater evils are in the world today. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Right, and the world is weak. Okay, not having the laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments, not having wisdom, not having the understanding of who you are, it makes you weak, man. You are so far from your power that you just been ran over. Okay. And you're doing all kinds of manner of evil, thinking it's cool, thinking it's hip, thinking and that's weakness. That's foolishness. It's folly. Okay. So much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein, and evils have increased upon us and upon the world. Okay. So let me go back and get. Let's see. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 6 and 20. And Yahawah shewed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us land which he sware unto our fathers. And Yahawah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahawah our power, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is to this day. You see? So when it comes time, you tell your children, you tell your sons, man, that Yahawah Bashim Yashai commanded us all these statutes and to fear him, and that it would be for our good, that he might preserve us alive as it is to this day. Because without the scriptures say, he that hateth me love death, But this is a lost art in the world these days. This is Psalm 78 and 5. No, I'm going to start at the top. Give ear, O my people, to my law, incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which ye have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, shewing to the generation to come the praises of Yahawah and his strength and his wonderful works that he had done. Right? And we're not going to hide, okay, our history. We're not going to hide what the wonders, the mighty works that Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi had done of old times. Okay, that we may shew the praises of Yahawah and his wonderful works. We'll not hide this, man. We don't know how long we're going to be here, but we're going to continue to teach this word and to our seed, man, forever. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children. Okay, right. Jacob. Okay, we are the seed of Jacob, man. And he appointed a law in Israel that we should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children. You see? So this is what we do, man. We just praise Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi. We're going to continue to praise him. As long as we're here, we're going to praise it we're going to tell it to the next generation, and they're going to do the same to their children. Okay? That they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. You see? That they may set their hope in the Most High, man. Our people have no hope. There's no hope in following your local celebrity, or there's no hope in America. There's no hope in drugs and in violence and in lies. Okay? All these strongholds and religions, man, there's no hope in the church. There's no hope in going back. Okay? This is who we are. We're Israelites. And the Bible's being revealed. It's the secrets and the mysteries are being revealed to the Lord's servants. and they're revealing it to all those they can hear. Basically, we're telling man, woman, and child. Let's read on. It says, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. Right? That they didn't be as their fathers, man, because there is a righteous generation among the wicked generation, if that makes any sense. They were stubborn and rebellious, and they set not their heart aright. And so we have to set our heart aright and constantly endure. Okay, and be steadfast with Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, man. This is Psalms 145 and 4. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. You see, and that's what we're doing. This generation is declaring it to the next generation. Lord willing, we're not here for much more time. This is Isaiah 59 and 21. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahawah. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth. You see, so it was never intended for this word to depart out of our mouth, but for our disobedience, we lost this truth. We discontinued for our heritage, but now the Lord has put the Spirit back onto his prophets. It's being made known to that righteous generation. It says, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahawah, from henceforth and forever. It was important to raise up a child in the way that he should go, man, so that when he was old, he would not depart. But now that rebellious generation, okay, because like I said, to the Spirit, there's a rebellious generation amongst the righteous. They totally forsake Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, and that's to their own destruction. Okay, they go to places where there is no truth. This is Jeremiah 5 and 7, like the churches. It says, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and have sworn by them that are no gods. Right? Jesus, Buddha, Allah. Some are witches. Some are into idols. The Mary, some are just nothing. They don't believe in anything at all. And they believe that they're going to get somewhere in life. By their that funky college education. Hey, beware of those people who went to college and who think they know something. They don't know nothing, man. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and have sworn by them that are no gods. When I have fed them to the full, then they committed adultery, and assembled themselves by troops in the harlot houses. Now, when you go into this word adultery, look what it says.
Strong's H 5003. Na'af.
It's speaking of idolatrous worship. Okay. Let's see. It says, in the same manner, to commit fornication, it is applied to the turning aside of Israel from the true God to worship idols. Okay. Now that's what we did. Okay. With what, stone and wood, which is what Christianity and Islam, Jake is heavy into that. You Israelites are heavy into that. Okay, but the Lord, hey, should he pardon you for this? The Lord, hey, it's a curse, man, to be a Christian. It's a curse to be a Muslim. Okay, they were. It says 9, shall I not visit for these things, saith Yahawah? Shall not my soul be avenged for such a nation as this? You see, the Lord is he's gonna avenge all those to their face, man. Okay. But there's a righteous generation. This is 1 Peter 2 and 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. You see, a chosen generation. a royal priesthood. Let's look this up. But you, what? It says, but you are not like that, for you are a chosen people. Right? We're a chosen people, man. You know, we believe that this is the last captivity. How long? We don't know, but it's half of the signs are past, more than half. So the Lord is on his way. It says, but you're a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. Okay, we're a priesthood, man. Okay, a holy nation, set apart, peculiar people, that you should shew forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. And what are we showing? We're showing that the Lord, called us out of darkness, out of all the evil that every man was committing. Okay, and we learned what sin was. We learned what the law was, and how we transgressed it and how it was sin. And we were dead, but we were quickened with Yahawashi, who were dead in trespasses and brought into this marvelous light. Now that's what we're showing the people. Get out of these churches, man. Like I said, I'm not advocating for religion, but what I'm saying is, uh, you know, it's an ungodly nation. It's an ungodly bunch of people. The nation of 2/3 of the nation of Israel is very ungodly, and they don't teach their kids anything. So it is wise in a way, to show your children, what the true way is and who they are, so they don't grow up to be just ungodly, because they can turn out to be ungodly. The scriptures say, desire not a multitude of children in the book of Sirach, because it says that some of them could be ungodly. I'm not going to get it. I can't, off the top of my head. I don't know where that scripture's at. But yeah. It says, which in times past were not a people, but are now the people of the Most High, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Right? We have now obtained mercy, man. Because we were ungodly, ourselves. But the Lord called a certain generation, a certain people out of all people, out of all the Israelites. Okay, an elect, to obtain mercy and get this knowledge, this truth, the real understanding of the Bible, who the Israelites are, and what to do to gain salvation. It's been given to us, man. The blueprint on how to get out of here. This is Proverbs 31. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Right? So yeah, man. Hey, all the sons of Yasharallah, man, they were commanded, okay, to keep the commandments, man. It says that length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee, okay? Because outside of the commandments is death and destruction and corruption and every evil thing you can think of, man. Okay, so just wanted to bring this out. Lord willing, it was edifying. The point is that you got young adults that are leaving religion, never going back, but that doesn't mean that they're on the right path, because you got a lot of ungodly people. You know, you got a lot of unthankful people. They don't know what they're living for. But the elect are given this word and given this knowledge. And there comes a time where you do tell your children, hey, you know what? We don't celebrate that. We don't do that because we're Israelites, this, that, and the third. So as long as we're here, we're going to teach this word. All right, to man, woman, and child, to those who are the hopeful elect, that they may, have good all the days of their life, as commanded us, because we are a holy nation. This is, and and I say that with balance, because every man, he if his woman is to learn anything, she's to learn at home. But brothers know, what I'm getting at, Lord willing, to the spirit. Okay, just wanted to bring this out, Lord will. It was edifying, and I say shalom.